welcome to another episode of the Great Ball Edition, where we have trainers show off meaningful Pokemon items and share the story behind them. My name is David Hernandez, and today we welcome back not just one, but both co-hosts of Enter the Dragonair's Den, Taco Dog and Jet Force Gemini. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. Pleasure to be back.
Definitely. And, let's talk about, where y'all been. So y'all were on my podcast last year. I think it was like 6 months deep y'all started y'all's podcast journey. And now we're almost coming up on 2 years. What is it like?
It's definitely been a journey, being a podcaster and switching over to video in early 2024. I'm happy to announce that we actually just recently passed 5,000 lifetime plays, and so the love and support that that the Pokemon community has given doing this podcasting, especially when we thought this would be no one's really going to listen to this, let's just have fun, and now it's kind of grown to where it's at. It's a very humbling experience, and I'm super thankful for this community.
Awesome. What about you, Jed? What do you think? It's been almost 2 years. Enter the Dragonair's Den. We're still in the den.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, I was gonna say we've even hopped official formats in that time, so we're very thankful to still be doing this at all, because we initially lost our train, so to speak, and it's been great to go through the growing pains of I'm now one of the actual captains, so that's kind of the team side update. But on top of that, just kind of getting our group set up to cover all the regions as well. You'll hopefully be meeting those people soon.
For sure. And yes, welcome Vikings fan and Who's Your Data. We are doing stuff live. I have found a way to bring back guests, so you're going to be seeing more returning guests, and not just one episode, but having them both on. And I really want to bring these guys back because, I don't know, I feel like they're just a lot of fun. I missed them. It's been a
while. So fun fact, Who's Your Data is actually one of our newest patrons. So I think he thinks that we're doing these live. Unfortunately not. We're still going to do these, at the normal one. But just think of this as extra. You don't have to pay for Patreon stuff. And Sea Vikings fan is actually a local of mine. I dropped the link in my local Discord and said, "Hey, I'm live. Come have fun, hang out."
Well, y'all just gotta start doing those episodes live. That's what y'all need to do. Clearly, people want to see you guys live. They just want to see more of both y'all.
I'm not gonna say I struggle with making things go live, but I do need to. I'm like that little toddler that's taking his first steps in live streaming, because the video part has been absolutely hard to do. But I have faith that I can learn. But taking 3 months off and not practicing has definitely been a hard challenge.
Awesome. Well, before we dive into y'all's story, I did want to, hey, Lucky and Yellow, welcome, CM, welcome to the chat. Before we start diving into it, for me, this is a special episode. So for those who don't know, I had a friend who passed away last week in a car accident, and I want to dedicate this episode to her. Her name is Michelle Gonzalez. She was a very good friend of mine back in college, one of the sweetest and most fun person you can ever be around. So I'm dedicating this episode to her. And just so those know who are part of my podcast, I will actually be customizing wristbands in her memory. It's going to be Lit Leo because her favorite movie was The Lion King. So you have something to look forward to that. It'll be absolutely free. So if anybody wants one, once I get it finalized, let me know. So before we dive into that and they dive in, I want to share what I brought. It's not Pokemon related, but I brought the movie The Lion King to show off. And the reason why is because I had never seen The Lion King. And what made her so special for me was because, you always have people who's you have friends who say hey, we got to hang out, and y'all never do anything. It's just kind of all, I won't say talk. But she said the same thing. It's I'm going to make sure you see The Lion King. I'm gonna make sure if it's the last
Oh,
thing
man.
I do. And you know,
I
at
feel
first I'm like,
attacked.
you know, she's just playing with me, right? She's saying that. She lived up to her word. She brought the Lion King. We had a movie night over when I was in college, and it's one of the most best memories I ever had. So, special shout out to Michelle. I wish you were still here, but you will not be forgotten. So, let's get on to what we're going to see today, guys. Who wants to go first? Who wants to show off what they brought? We got items between both of y'all, so I'm excited to see what we're going to bring. Taco Dog, you need to take that flag down. It needs to be Team Mystic.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, even the wrong ones. I mean, you can see there's this doesn't count, but there's the alma mater that I went to college with, and there's the flag that I'm a part of here in Pokemon Go. So like, can you really kind of take a guess of which team? It was just really easy to pick when Go came out. Like,
There's no difference between these pictures.
My favorite color is blue. Like, I mean, that's why blue was definitely one of the primary colors of the jersey that we made. But yeah, I mean, you gotta represent the college. So
Okay. Kayak Polo Girl says you have the right flag, so I guess other people are entitled to their own opinions as well. All right, lead us off, Taco Dog. What did you bring? Let's see the first item. I'm excited.
So, shoot. Actually, I'm going to call an audible. So the first item that I brought with us is when I hit level 40, one of our lovely, amazing community members actually had designed a shirt from scratch, or a logo, and put it on a shirt, because I jokingly said, will you put this on a shirt? And in my local community at the time, hitting 40 was like super rare. So we would call them unicorns. And so basically, like, if you've got level 40, you got 1 unicorn horn. If you got 20 million XP, you got 2 unicorn horns, so on and so forth. So the first thing I bring is the shirt that was made. It's got my old Taco Dog logo on it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Horn.
Yeah.
And I actually, before we started recording, I wanted to see if like the stuff was still online available for purchase. Turns out it is. And so I want to give a super amazing shout out to Pokey the Guamp. She made this before she took off from our local community and is now on to bigger and better things, but we still love her. And of course, you know, it's been through the washer a little bit. This shirt was made in 2018 when I hit level 40, so I made it look like a sports jersey. And so this shirt has now been retired and is going to be part of a quilt from some of the older shirts that I have. And that's going to be like the centerpiece of it. It's just like the journey of Taco Dog.
Oh, that's awesome.
The namesake.
Now, is that because I know you used to have a dog. Is that the one that you talked about when we had the interview that passed away, or?
Yeah, so actually we wanted to do it like as a Dachshund beforehand, but everybody just kept asking, what is a Taco Dog? And I said, whatever favorite dog breed you want wrapped up in a taco. And so that was like the most generic dog breed you can think of. And it was just like, this is just perfect. Like, I'm not going to make any changes to it. But yes, that to me, it's in memory of Maddie. She was 15 when she passed back in December of 22. Excuse me. And it's just been like, every time I see that, it's just kind of like it brings a smile to my face knowing that she's still a part of me after all of these years.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm gonna try not to cry now.
I might have to take my camera off a little bit. You're about to bring me into more tears.
Someone's chopping onions in my office, and I don't like it.
Yeah, what a day for rain.
We're going to take a bit of a commercial break, guys. Awesome. All right. Let's see. What did Jed bring? I want to see what his...
Well, I can continue the theme of local Iowa City artwork if you want.
Hey, dealer's choice, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna follow Taco's theme here. So, I think last time we talked about how I may have showed up in Iowa City and won their local tournament.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah. So part of that was also they had one of their players is just this amazing artist, and I won this painting. It was a little bit of a. I'll hold it up in a sec, but it was a little bit of a struggle just to pack it because I was sure they were going to ruin it in my check bag going home, but it got back in one piece, and it's still quite amazing.
Oh my gosh! Oh, it has a Lapras, a Venus.
So there's a Charizard up in the clouds. Let's see. Yeah, Lapras down in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And the Venusaur hanging out on the bottom.
Yo, that's sick.
That was the Rainbow Cup, wasn't
Rainbow Cup.
it? Yeah.
If you know, you know about that one.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness! I cannot believe you still have that after all these years. Like,
dude, it's awesome. Why wouldn't I still have it?
I mean, life happens.
Yeah.
Some of my stuff has unfortunately gotten lost when I've been moving for the last 10 years, but I'm just happy I still have things that have survived.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm disappointed that neither one of y'all mentioned this during the interview. I knew he won the tournament. I didn't know that was such a cool prize, though. That's amazing.
It's very hard to describe the painting in.
Yeah. Well, and I'll throw it back up for a second because it's not just the Pokemon, right? Like, there's also, like, the artist was really after the planets. It's like very.
I see it.
Kind of astrological.
Yeah, I think that's Mars. Or is that Mercury?
Well, and like the crazy thing is, most of it is spray paint art. So it was just like the final layer, the Pokemon layer, I think was actually the only part that wasn't spray painted in.
Damn, that's hard.
It took me a second, but I actually remember the local of mine. He unfortunately no longer plays Go. I really hope he's doing well, but I have not chatted with him in such a long time.
It's Fuzzums, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. I hope Fuzzums, wherever you are, I really hope
you're doing Fuzzums.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're appreciated.
Yeah,
It's been forgotten. 5 years. Holy moly.
That's almost half a century.
Stop it.
Half a century.
Stop it! I just turned 29. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Be reminded I'm hitting 30 next year.
I don't know if you know this, but Taco is in crisis mode.
Uh-oh.
I'm in shambles.
You're in pieces.
That's me. I'm in shambles almost every single day. Every day's an adventure.
That's a mood, actually. Yeah. Some days I get my life together. Some days I just really don't. So it just depends. All right. So Taco Dog, what's the second item you brought? That's gonna be a tough one to top. I think it's probably one of my favorite ones. No bias here. Awesome. No bias here, but
no.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I know it's definitely a hard one to top, but I actually got this thing on Wish before I found out Wish was basically a big doo-doo company. But it's actually it's a Team Instinct hat. It's old, okay. This thing is
it's been through a lot.
I want to say late 2017, early 2018. It is as old as can be, and and so I wear this to every single community day that I'm able to, and the locals will probably fact check me like, Taco, you actually didn't wear it today. In my defense, stop it. Couldn't find it. And so I try to wear this to every single community day, so it's got a lot of history with it. I went to every single Silph tournament with it that I could, wear hats inside and stuff. I actually took this to my very first my Play Pokemon regional tournament, and Millennial, stop it. And they made me take it off because it wasn't an official Pokemon Center apparel, and I said, I don't know where I got this. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. And they said, no, we found it here. And I said, okay, I'll take it off. But my opponent, and I'm not gonna throw my opponent under the bus, was allowed to wear a Gengar hat that looked fake as can be, but they allowed it because it had the Pokemon Center tag. And I was like, no, you just don't like Team Instinct. It's okay. You can say that.
Yeah, you don't have to lie to my face.
Right.
And of course, it can't do it now. But at the time when I got it, it used to like this part right here used to light up yellow.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
Of course, I've damaged it, so it probably will never light up again, and messed up the wiring from like wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it used to light up yellow in the dark, and it would be like a really cool like centerpiece. But that time has come and gone, and I mean I hold it up to the light and it looks like brown. It used to be black, but I'm probably never gonna stop wearing this thing, and I'll be wearing this until I lose it in a move, and I really hope that never happens.
You just spoke into existence. You're gonna lose it tomorrow.
Look.
Yeah, how many puppies are in your house right now?
3. 2 of them know better. One of them she'll be 5 months old in a couple of days.
And doesn't know better.
About her. She does not know better. Well, actually, no, she does know better. She knows that when I yell her name, she'll run to the cage because she knows she's in trouble. So it only took a week of training to do that.
Home base.
Taco Dog, it's like when we were young and they yell your full name, middle and last, and it's like, oh crap, I did something wrong.
Oh
yeah.
100%. Of course, she did have to relearn her name because I did make my wife and she's not my daughter yet, but my other soon-to-be daughter. I made them change the dog's name because it used to be Luna, and for those of you that remember, we had a puppy early this year who was also named Luna. She was a red healer, and she had passed away a week after we brought her back to Iowa. And so when they told me her name, I said, look, no disrespect, but that name needs to change. Like it still hurts after, this was back in July, I said it still hurts after 6 months. And I don't know how I'm gonna be when I get back, and I don't want to accidentally, put myself in a position where I'm just not going to be able to touch the dog because everything's going to remind me of the puppy that we lost. So,
right. No,
I'm trying not to be sad, but this is a happy time.
Hey, you're trying. That's all that matters, man.
We do our best, but her name is Lana. She's gonna be a 5-month-old purebred border collie. She makes Aries, who is also a border collie, look tiny as can be. I may post pup pictures later.
Ooh.
Mandatory pup pictures.
You got to, man. Whenever you mention pups, you gotta do pictures. It's in the law.
I will post it in the Enter the Dragonair's Discord.
There you go.
Fair play.
Well, let's go back to Jet. Jet, what's the second item you brought with us? Or second item you showed us, I should say.
Let's do the other big one. I have a stand-in to start with. So I have a lot of pins from Sylph, and I restricted myself to only buying ones that I actually won a tournament from. But the one I brought over is from the first regional. They did their emblem with everybody's name on them.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was really cool for Sylph regional. If you didn't play grassroots, the in-person version, it's very hard to kind of describe that feeling because it's still kind of taking some getting used to the fact that we have official tournaments just because of it was just so fun to be able to have an in-person map like we did, and that's why I met Taco in the first place, was just showing up to a community that I knew existed and was hosting these tournaments. And then I'll grab the big one because I have a giant pin board that's even bigger than the painting, but in the bottom corner I have all of the Sylph pins together that I have. Hopefully you enjoy that.
No, it's great to be back because I remember the first regional. I think they had to like pick cities. It was the first time where it was only select cities that got to host them, right?
That was us.
Wow, that's awesome. Because I think we were one of the select cities, and people got in a big uproar about it because I think they wanted it over in Fort Worth, but we got it here in Dallas, and we had a lot of people show up. It was a crazy time, I'll say that, especially for grassroots PvP.
Well, and if you were you were like a group that was used to having, between 8 and 12 people, being able to actually go and have 50 or more people show up was crazy, right? Like being able to get up above 6 rounds, like it felt real, right?
Yeah, it did. Like people had to get hotels and all that. It was amazing just to see the turnout. People coming just for a grassroots. It wasn't even like, I guess, quote unquote official compared to the play Pokemon circuit nowadays.
No, well, I mean, it was the only game in town, right? So it was as official as we had, and similarly, we had a whole group come down from Orange County that like gave us the group that we had for the first regional as well, and those are people that I met in person again, just back in Sinnoh Tour, where I was lucky friends with most of them because like we're I feel like I'm still getting used to being able to travel and do stuff again, but I know it's been a minute actually, but just kind of getting back into that feeling of, oh yeah, I can go and just trade these people that I've been friends with for like 5 years now.
And to this day, we still have not gotten lucky friends.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
How's that possible? Y'all haven't gotten lucky friends. Y'all are.
So we became best friends. I want to say, and like we became like best friends, and we were just like I was just casually opening gifts, and Jet's got the pin board. That is absolutely beautiful. Just
Yo,
a rush of memories are coming back.
That's crazy.
And so when they announced Sinnoh Tour, I was talking with Jet, and I said, okay, Jet, let's try to make Lucky Friends by February. So I was opening, and Jet was pretty much the only gift I would open some days because, like, I'm if you're on my friends list, I am notoriously bad for opening gifts. Like, I will forget. Like, Hamtaro, sorry, I haven't opened your gift in a very long time.
I mean, I haven't sent it a gift in a long time, so it's fair.
Okay. So Jet and I were either sending gifts or we were opening gifts, and like I think there was like maybe 1 day or 2 days, couple of days where Jet had to be like, "Hey, don't forget to open my gift," and I was like, "I got you, fam." So I would open the gift, and we never, to this day, we still have not hit Lucky Friends. But I'm gonna talk to or I'm gonna talk about some of my other teammates, some of the other teammates or former teammates, because I'm no longer on Diener, don't care, but it's okay, they're still part of our nest. I got friends. I made lucky friends with Zimmy Kid literally the 3rd day after I became best friends, and then Danny, our Master League specialist, I became lucky friends with him over the summer, like 2 weeks after I became best friends. So I'm just going. So I can make lucky friends with people that I'm probably going to see maybe once or twice a year, unless, I'll probably see Zimmy at least more times than that if I go to more tournaments. But my own co-host, who's like, we've gotten to know each other these last 2 years a lot more, I can't even get best friends with him. That makes me a little sad.
Hey, when it finally happens, someday it'll happen, right? It'll be the best feeling in the morning.
And then we're going to take 6 months to figure out what we're going to trade because I am indecisive as heck.
Ooh. I have a suggestion. I don't know if y'all would be interested in it.
If you say open my gift, I'm going to stop.
I was like, what's up?
Raikou.
I mean, I'm down.
I think I transferred over my only shiny Raikou into home so I can put it in
Bro.
Scarlet and Violet.
How could you?
Well, there goes that idea.
Because I've started moving over to playing the main series games more, and if I'm gonna use Raikou, Eevee is not always the answer. It is mid. Unless it's Umbreon. shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, if I'm gonna use legendaries in like the current regulation, I'm gonna use the shiny versions because I have it.
Yeah.
You gotta flex.
So, and they even say, and like they'll get like their ribbons and stuff. Like I'm still. Shoot, speaking of that, I have to get my shiny Flygon from BDSP over because I finally got all the daily ribbons for it. I'm not trying to ribbon master it either.
Oh god, thankfully not. That'd take forever.
No, please.
Hey, maybe Flygon will finally get the mega treatment, right? With Pokemon ZA coming out.
You're lucky there's things here. I would flip this because I have heard that for so long.
Well, this time it might actually be true.
Yeah, it might actually be true.
I really hope he gets a mega. Like, everybody disrespecting my boy Flygon, and yeah, Flygon is definitely the greatest of all time. The best ground dragon. You can't change my mind. They tried to recreate it with Garchomp, failed. They failed with Zygarde. They had to give it like 4 different forms to even match the peakness that was Flygon, and even then it doesn't come close.
I think the ultimate troll move would be if they give Garchomp another mega form.
Mega Garchomp Z.
Yeah.
Give me my ticket to Yokohama, Game Freak. We gotta chat.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. All right, I think we're back with Taco Dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense, like, that I bring out the best boy.
Speaking to the devil and it shall appear, yes.
Yeah, I got this little guy. I got this little guy in Peoria because I saw it and I go, I have to have it. I don't care what happens, I have to have it. And I actually got him because I think I was able to negotiate like a deal where I got, the greatest evolution of all time, and this is the only evolution that matters. And then I bundled it.
How dare you?
With my wife.
Blasphemy.
I will fight you.
Let's go.
So I got these guys, and then I was like, oh wait, can't forget about the wife. She's very important. So I got her. Her favorite Pokemon is Vaporeon. So I got her a little Vaporeon sitting cutie. That it is currently, you can't see it, but it's behind those flags. Source, trust me, bro.
Just take the flag. Just take the bad flag down. We'll be able to see it then.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
The bad flag.
I can, kind of show you a little bit. It's up there. No, you can't really see it.
I just thought that's where you hide the bodies.
It's right there.
Oh, I see it. I see its feet.
The ambassador flag.
Did you tell your wife about the story with Vaporeon?
Yeah, I told her the story of Vaporeon. She said, I don't care. It's still my favorite.
Okay.
And I said, that's fine. Like,
A true fan.
That's a true fan right there.
I mean, she enjoys it, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell her, did you know? Like, it's like, for me doing that to her is like her telling me, did you know Flygon's not the greatest Pokemon of all time? And I'm like, you're lucky that you're my wife. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd do. That's
Divorce her?
I love her.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that.
Okay.
Marriage counseling, though. That's on the table.
I'm available. I charge rates. Jet, what's your favorite EV evolution? I don't think I've ever heard yours.
I mean, as far as like what actually gets used, it's definitely Umbreon. But I have both the Flareon that I got from the San Diego Regional and a Flareon shirt on currently. So
okay, Flareon.
I feel like I've represented pretty decently. I also ran Flareon as one of my challenge runs to rank 20 a few seasons back.
Oh wow, awesome.
It was an adventure. I don't recommend it.
Poor Flareon. Even in going struggles.
Well, and it's all the debuff moves. So it's you can't really stay in. You're gonna nuke something. If it lands, you do decent damage. But this was when Galarian Stunfisk was still around, so it was about like the dragon type meme. I don't know if you've seen where it's the scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where everyone's pointing a gun at each other.
Yeah.
where it's one of those where it's like neither of you can actually take a move, so it's it's all craziness.
Awesome.
I didn't know if we could say gun. I like using the term wireless hole puncher.
It's a flintlock pistol.
Oh.
It's a flintlock wireless hole puncher.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna use that in class next.
We're gonna get this stream demonetized. Just watch.
You think I make money off this? I'm flattered.
Maybe this will be the first one that you make money off of.
We'll see. All right, Jet. Let's see what you got.
I can do my plushie I brought over. I know I referenced one of them already.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I brought the Vulpix
Oh,
with the hoodie.
Is that? Oh, that's like really Red Hiding Hood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so these I want to talk about because this is one of the few places I can talk about them. Is that Build-A-Bear does Pokemon, and they're awesome. I cannot understate how like high quality they are, and you get outfits. Which if they have your favorite Pokemon in the lineup, when you go look, like it's the easiest sell of your life. Like done and done.
Oh my!
I think it even talks. No, it just comes with it. It's just like I don't know if you're familiar with Build-A-Bear, but like normally they do like the stuff.
I was waiting for it to talk or something.
Hold on.
It can't do well under pressure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is adorable.
What does it say?
I heard it. It sounded like it was a Vulpix cry.
Yeah, it's like saying Vulpix.
Oh my god! I need that in my life right now.
Yeah, that's Vulpix.
That's so cute.
And Emily, aka girlfriend Force Gemini, has the Alolan version, so they hang out.
Oh my god.
That is cute.
Yeah, well, I'm sleeping on Build-A-Bear. I'm gonna have to go visit sometime soon.
Yeah, that and my cousin got me that, so I didn't even know that they did them, and it was like, this is the greatest. Thank you so much. My eyes have been opened.
They are. My head just exploded just now.
I know that we like the Build-A-Bear. I knew that Build-A-Bear did something like that, but I didn't think that they still did it. I haven't been to Build-A-Bear since I was like 10 years old. Oh goodness.
Well, and I don't even know if they actually do them in stores. I think they're online bundles only anyway. So you couldn't even get one even if you went.
We're all Googling frantically right now.
Yeah. Go look what they have, because I bet it's awesome.
They have a Flareon.
Of course they do.
Flareon, a Bulbasaur, a
Corn Bunny.
Oh
Bidoof,
my god! Could you imagine if we Coco?
Squirtle, Sobble. They have a Toothless. I know it's not Pokemon related, but still.
One of my favorite franchises as well.
Dude, have you seen the Quafoco? It has the little Hawaiian shirt. That's sick.
It is so cute.
They even have a Trapinch too.
I'm sorry, what?
I was just joking.
Oh, you made my head turn like super quick. I'm sorry, what?
You got whiplash.
Big time.
I did, like.
Oh man, they had a giant Charizard. Okay, we've flown too close to the sun.
We are.
We have officially. This has now become an advertisement for Build-A-Bear.
Yeah,
hey guys,
not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all really want to look into some plushies, you may want to check out this Build-A-Bear.
Yeah. Well, and I'll point out one just so we can segue into other stuff. The Sprigatito.
Oh, is that another Build-A-Bear one?
That one is the Yokohama one. I was first in the Man in the Planet stream more than anyone else a couple seasons ago, and I got that as a prize.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's chilling with all the other guys.
I thought you were about to say you're the first one in line when you went to Yokohama. I'm like, dude, you must have camped out.
Thankfully, no camping involved.
I was gonna say, Jay, you didn't even bring anything back for me for Yokohama. Big sad.
You weren't supposed to know.
Oh.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Oh,
On another podcast, no less.
I know. So rude.
Oh my gosh. All right, Taco Dog. Let's go to your next item. What do you have for us?
I think this is what, number 4?
Yes.
Okay. So I actually dug these up out of a bin, and I'm surprised that they have lasted this long because I've lost things in here. But so I have the original, and actually the oldest book that I was able to find. I've got Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the strategy guide that came out in 2010.
Oh God, don't. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, like it was just before Black and White, and it still has like the little chart with the type matchups in it. I never tore it out as a kid, and of course it's useless now because we have the fairy type. This one doesn't have the fairy type, but I also have the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire that I got at a midnight release my freshman year of college, and it actually started a tradition where my college buddies and I, when they lived here in Iowa City, every time that a new Pokemon game would come out, we would camp out at either the GameStop, or there was another shop. I think it was called Gamers. Yeah, it was called Gamers. They closed down in like 2016, and we would just be in line. We'd buy the newest Pokemon game, and we'd all go to somebody's either apartment or college dorm room, and we would try to be the first one to play it and beat it. Don't ask us why we did that. We were like 19 years old. Well, the Alpha Sapphire one, it was a freshman year of college. I was 19 years old, and I should have been asleep because I had to be up at 5 a.m. the next day. But midnight release, very important.
Mm-hmm. That's what
new definition for all-nighters.
Fun fact, I had played. We had started at like 11 o'clock, or shortly after midnight, like 12:30, and I finished first. I finished at 5:03 a.m. And so I was just like, all right, well, I won, so I'll be right back. I got to go do this thing for a project for marching band. So time to go. And I did not have a lot of sleep that day.
But that's what you did, though, in college, right? Whenever a new game came out, for me, it was Pokemon, obviously. Me and my friends, we would go for the midnight release, and then we'd come home, order some pizza with some soda, and just play the games until it's time for breakfast, basically. And we never really slept.
Exactly.
You guys were so much cooler than me.
What'd you do, Jed? You didn't do that? Come on. You didn't stay up all night playing games?
I mean, I definitely did stay up all night playing games, but I don't think I've ever midnight released any game. So I am having just some vicarious memories thanks to you, and it sounds amazing.
The unpopular opinion, and I'm gonna say it, it's maybe a semi-hot take, but like, we need to bring back the midnight releases. Like, just the amount of people that were there, you get to like make some new friends, or just be annoyed in the line because it's quote unquote taking too long. It's a lot of fun, and I would 100% like be the one. I know that like when BDSP came out late 21, there wasn't a midnight release for it, but there was still like an 11 o'clock. I think it was an 11 o'clock release. The GameStop had shut down. They closed at 9, and then they opened back up at like 10:30 to facilitate it all. And it was fun, but it was just like, yeah, we're all chatting, and then the minute we got our game, we all just took off and left because that's all we cared about.
Yep.
I miss those days where like you get to chat with people, you get to meet with them, and then afterwards it's like, oh hey, what's your gamer tag? Let's meet up online or whatever. Now it's just, here's the game, bye.
Yeah, you don't really have much talking anymore as you did back in those days. I guess back when Heart Gold Soul Silver ORAS came out. That one used. I imagine I remember more talking. Even I did the midnight release for I think Scarlet Violet, and all we did was wait in line, got our games, and everybody left. So
Yep,
So you have a physical copy of Scarlet Violet?
I do.
same.
Oh wait,
Both of you, yeah.
I bought the 2-pack. I have Scarlet. My wife has Violet. And I'm still waiting for her to beat the game. Still waiting for her to beat the game. Right on.
She's trying to enjoy the experience.
No, she's one of those gamers that like will play the game religiously for like 6 hours, and she will not touch it for the next 6 months. You can understand how frustrating it gets for me.
It's very hot and cold.
I just want the Maridon.
Yeah.
Is your wife the one who eats? Is your wife the one who eats the chicken wings and just eats like a small bite and leaves everything else alone?
No, she'll eat all the chicken wings.
Okay, good. Okay.
She doesn't mess around with chicken wings.
All right.
Yeah, no.
All right. So I think we're back with Jet. With the,
Can I ask a follow-up question while I grab this gem?
Yeah.
Okay,
Go for it.
Taco, tell me about your experience with a game guide.
I mean, I got subscription to Game Informer back in the day when they were a thing, and I'd get I get those. But like, whenever I went to buy a new game as a kid, I would cut yards to save money, and then I'd buy the new game, and I'd buy the strategy guide if it came with it, because in my brain I'm like saving money. So the closest thing was like this big old thing that shows you everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it shows you like how to complete the puzzles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's my interpretation of the strategy guide. But I feel like this is gonna segue into something.
So it's just segueing into my oldest guide, which is the Nintendo Power
Wow.
original.
Hey yo.
Yeah. And it's of course has the whole Pokedex section, which it had a whole sticker page. So like you would just add the sticker on as you went to show like it was in your Pokedex, which is of course complete because I completed my Pokedex. But the other really fun thing, like for me at least looking back through, is all of the stuff that Tiny Aaron / Jet cut out of the strategy guide to put somewhere else. As of course we love this art, right? Like it gets no better than the OG Ken Sugimori.
Oh my god. Well, I guess were you doing like some crafts, I assume, and that's why they're cut out, or?
Well, like I'm also a writer, and like I've always been making stories. So they were, for some of them, they were characters. Like I cut out like, of course, out of the Elite Four, the one that I cut out is Lance. He's too cool. He's too cool to leave in there. He's got to be somewhere else.
Right.
He's got things to do.
Got to use Hyper Beam somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I also have several other like installments because there was this original guide, and then of course you needed the guide for Yellow, and then when I was looking through the one for Yellow specifically, there was a bunch of corrections that I made to the guide as I played through, where it's just like the information was wrong. Where it was, in case I ever look back at this again, because that's all we had. To me, like the reason I asked you about your experience with the guide is because this is pre-internet.
It is.
This is what you had. The Nintendo Power guides for stuff was essentially the person you were playing the game with, right? Was the guide, and that was it. There was nothing else.
You're about to make me go on my boomer tirade of kids nowadays have no idea what it's like to buy one of these game guides and like read through it and stop the game so you can read the next part and then try to do it the right way. Like I taught myself Braille for Pokemon X. These came out. I knew what to do, but at that time, I was sitting there going, "Hey, this is how you do the letter A."
Yeah.
I would like just write it down, like, ugh.
Which I mean, it's cool you bring up Braille because I also had a Fire Red Leaf Green guide, and I forgot that they had Braille in those games also. So there was a Braille guide in the back of that thing.
It was.
But yeah.
I mean, you say pre-internet days, but like, I would probably go on a limb and say modern Pokemon internet wasn't a thing until after X and Y.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Because that's.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to fathom like from the point that we are now. In some ways, like even having gone through it, just how different and unreliable. Even if you did have an online community, just I mean that's why we have all of the kind of mythology around the games that we have, like the truck and the Mew and all those other things. Just people just making things up and like as often as they could, and it's fantastic.
Trust me, my dad works for Nintendo.
Everybody's dad worked for Nintendo, right?
100%.
On that note, for me, mine was always the Rockets in Gen 3. I always was just obsessed with those. I thought that led to Jirachi. I even found a YouTube video showing it was obviously edited, but it showed your character going up to the moon, so it had to be real because it's on YouTube, right?
Dude, YouTube,
100%,
man.
Like, I was in that same boat. Like, I really, really wanted Jirachi, especially after watching the movie.
Oh yeah, Jirachi's best wishes, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, good times. Nintendo Power took me back because I have a beanbag Yoshi somewhere, and it came from Nintendo Power. Yeah,
that's so cool.
I still have it because I think the Nintendo Power. Then it also had like special plushies you could collect as well, just because those Nintendo characters, and it always came, I think, in the N64 games. And I always wanted to collect the magazines, but didn't have the money for it. But I did get a Yoshi plushie, which I still have somewhere.
Huzzah!
Yeah, they did so many cool promotional things where I feel a little bad just that there's I don't think there's really anything comparable in current Nintendo where it, just the fact that you could get the proof of purchase whole thing, like if you didn't experience it, then it's never coming back, don't worry about it. But the fact you could just like take clippings from the back of the magazines and send them somewhere and they'd send you plushies, like that I feel like that would blow people's minds now.
I wish that they still did that.
I do too. Now that I got money, I'm like, I can't do nothing with it. Just all the stuff's gone to history.
I was actually I was hanging out with one of my locals today during Community Day, and we got on the subject of like us as millennials that we're getting older, and she asked, and I said, hey, so as a millennial, are we gonna get like a midlife crisis? Like, what's that gonna be like? And I said, you do realize we're millennials. We've been in crisis since like 2010. Like, there is no going to be midlife crisis. We are currently living our crisis.
Yeah, you remember 2001? That was crazy.
Yeah.
We have adult money, but we still want to buy things because we're nostalgic as can be.
Yep.
We are in crisis. We are constantly in a midlife crisis.
We had a quarter life crisis back when we were 25.
Look.
Taco Dog's about to have one next year when he turns 35.
Do you mean 40?
Close enough.
No, it's 30.
We're rounding up, dude.
Yeah. You're turning 50 tomorrow, right?
I'm gonna flip the table. I'm going back in my little hidey hole where I'm gonna stay off the internet for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I go behind the little flag over there. It's a perfect hole over there.
That's my little closet. You can't see me. I can't see you. Therefore, you don't exist. La 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 la.
Okay, John Cena.
Ba, ba, da, ba.
Da, 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 da. All right, Taco Dog.
My turn.
Yep, I think we're on the 5th item, right?
Yeah. All right,
This is
it's
good.
gonna be nightmare. Yeah, I'm gonna give a little bit of a trigger warning. Y'all are gonna have some nightmare feel after this. This
Let's
has
go.
stayed with me. This is my oldest Pokemon thing that I have, and it was before I knew it was. I think it was shortly after I got Pokemon Gold that I lost, and I'm very sad. So I went to in the Hispanic community, you go to a birthday party, and anything that's not bolted to the floor, it's yours to take. So I went to this kid's party, and it was Pokemon themed, and they had little piggy banks that you could, of course they were knockoffs, but you could take them. So at the time, I really liked Pikachu. I stole the Pikachu piggy bank. The birthday boy had nothing on me, so this thing is old. This thing was so you were supposed to break it, but I didn't want to break it, so I drilled a hole to get the coins out. So I'd like to present the oldest Pikachu in existence. 2002. This thing is over 20 years old.
Wait, spin it. We need the full experience. Yes.
There's a little coin slot. And
it's a long boy.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And so here's the hole I drilled out because you were supposed to break
Oh my
it.
god.
And I did not want to break it. I was not gonna do this. And it's old. And this is gonna be my kids, when I have another child. This is gonna be their very first piggy bank, and I don't care if it makes them cry when they go to sleep. They're going to learn how to save money with this piggy bank.
But they can't because it has a hole in it, though.
No, there's a stopper. I made the plug. But I don't know how old this naturally is. We're not going to talk about that. But it's there, and it's a plug now. So piggy bank or Bankachu is what I called it as a kid.
Bankachu.
Bankachu. I think I was 7. Yeah, I was 7 years old.
Dude, that was 30 years ago.
I hate you.
Oh, it's like a raccoon fell in paint.
I love it. If you try it, it says Pokemon. It says Pokemon. Right here, it says Pokemon.
The classic.
That's what I was writing. Is that an apple?
The Pokeball is upside down, but yeah.
Oh my god.
It's supposed to be the Pokeball.
That really is As The Pokeball Turns right there. It's
exactly.
It's been turned.
It stopped.
That looks like a Pikachu from another universe.
This is
It's like butterfly effect Pikachu.
You couldn't get You couldn't get officially licensed stuff in my community. Everyone was basically handmade. I'm pretty sure this thing was handmade.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
And whoever, I don't even remember who the birthday boy was, but wherever they are, I hope they're doing well.
Oh
I
my
still have the
god.
Pikachu, and no, I'm not giving it back.
You scarred that boy for life. He's still looking for that piggy bank.
Well, like I said, there was multiple piggy banks. This one was just closer to me, so I'd like to think that maybe they got another Pikachu one on the other side of that Peter Piper pizza.
I'm also trying to imagine how you got this out of their home, knowing it's as big as you were almost.
Yeah, at that age.
So at that age, of course, everybody had their birthday parties at a pizza joint. So this was a Peter Piper pizza one. They had these as decorations, and it wasn't bolted down, so it was fair game. Some people took balloons, some people took tokens. I took Pikachu.
But how'd you get it out though without them seeing it? That's what's crazy because you're 7 or 8. It's not like you're driving, right?
No, I gave it to my mom. I said, "Mom, hold this."
She joined you in the escapade.
Here, I won this.
Mom, I won this. Yeah. I was like, "Put this in your bag." And
I'm really good at skee-ball, okay?
On that note,
it goes back to the story of how I got my very first Pokemon game. I didn't steal it. I bet a copy of Yu-Gi-Oh! and I want it in a game of chess. Like, this is how my origin story with Pokemon started. And if you want to know more, go listen to Hamtaro's As The Pokeball Turns episode with me.
Yeah,
The roots are very ethnic.
they are.
But as you were saying, Hamtaro, before I completely trampled over what you were going to say.
No,
God,
it even fits his chin perfectly.
it's like his child.
It really is. Oh my!
This is my son.
Yeah, I see the resemblance.
It's uncanny.
It is. Now, Taco Dog, what if somebody steals that from you?
The entire city will burn.
Okay. Rip to Iowa City. We don't know who you are, but it was nice knowing you.
Yep.
Ugh.
I've actually thought about doing like a giant PvP tournament and using this as like the grand prize, but
No.
I think that would have the opposite effect.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
Bringing
that.
people in, it would scare them away, and I love this too much. I would absolutely try my hardest to win.
If anything, it should be you should like mount it on a trophy base, so that instead of it being the prize, you just like add names to the bottom of it. So it's like an eternal feature.
Oh, that's a good idea. But then it won't be a piggy bank anymore.
It
It'll
can
be
still
like-
be a piggy bank.
Okay.
A Pika Bank.
Pika bank, or Bankachu, whichever we want to call it.
Bank a trophy chew.
Bankachu, Pikachu. I don't know. I feel like when you say Bankachu, it's like Bangachu almost.
Oh yeah, we might have to step away from that.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so this
awesome.
is my fifth and final item. It is the oldest thing that I dug up. It actually sits on that bookshelf right over there. That's as old as me. And I wish I was
don't-
picking that up.
Don't tell me where exactly, because I feel like I'll never be able to talk with you again knowing it's there.
It's okay, Jet. Remember, I crop my camera so that
Yeah.
you just see the flags behind me.
Then we're good. Then everything's fine.
I mean, it may its eyes may stare into your soul menacingly every now and then. There's a reason why I keep it in the office and not my room.
Yeah, that is a borderline cursed object.
Without a doubt. When Taco Dog dies, his spirit's just gonna inhabit it, and it's gonna be a cursed artifact at that point.
I mean, Annabelle's a thing, so.
Coming soon, the
Same.
first Pokemon horror movie, guys. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and see Jet's, I guess, final item.
Oh, now I have to pick. I brought more things over.
You can pick. We can keep going.
All right. Well, we haven't done any cards yet, so I brought a card over. I don't have most of my Pokemon cards. In high school, me and a couple buddies just kind of pooled all of our cards because we actually wanted to play. We were pretty big fans of just like the first 3 or 4 sets, and so that's kind of what we used. And it was almost a mirror of, I don't know if you played the Pokemon TCG for Game Boy Color. I don't know if that's before your time, but the the idea was kind of to emulate that experience. And so most of my cards are with him in Idaho now, I think. But I do have a select few cards that I didn't let out of my sight, and one of them is this one. It is Koga's Pidgey.
Ooh, Japanese too.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit more background just about Japanese cards if you're not familiar, because it's fairly different from what it is now, right? Like all of the sets, Japanese and English, are released at the same time, and for most of the original sets, it was the opposite. It was everything came out in Japanese first, and then it was in English. It could be years later, depending, where they kind of just had a release schedule, and we at that point were already years behind. So we had a lot of cards that we had no idea what they were or what they did, and many people willing to lie about it, like we talked about with the other stuff. And so this card was one that I just really liked. Like as a tiny person, I really enjoyed this art. Like the fact that it's like a carrier pigeon with a scroll from the ninja guy, so cool. Like didn't even care that it's got 40 HP and effectively there you can't even tell what the first attack does because it's all text. It's like you could get away with using stuff if it was just the energy cost and a numerical value, right? Like that made sense. You could run it. Why not?
Right.
But yeah, so this was a card that I saw in a card shop, and I just commented how cool it was, and they wanted. So I'm pretty sure they wanted $4 for it, which, if like to give you some perspective, that was like they would sell you 2 packs for $4. Was kind of if it was a good card shop, the exchange was insane. It was not even in the realm of, oh yeah, okay, I'm willing to buy that. No way, walking away, gone. Like, give me packs instead. I'll take a random roll. And little did I know, my little sister went and bought it and then gave it to me later that day, and it was like, yeah, easily one of the cutest things, where it was effectively she could have, bought any toy or whatever for herself for the month basically, and instead decided to get me this card that I had said that I really just enjoyed the look of, basically, right? It was, I enjoyed it as a piece of art, and she decided I needed to have it, and it's I still got it.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I like it. On those though, I do love because that's from the Gym Hero set with all of the gym leaders. It's one of my favorite sets, and they have such good artwork. It's one of my favorite classic sets.
And they were a very different style too. Like I'm sure you remember where they really deviated from, oh, this is just the character in its environment, like a very natural for the most part, wherever you would find them, to this Pokemon belongs to a person, and that is more the story we're telling. I think Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu is one of the most grisly Pikachus that exists just ever.
Menacing, yeah, because it has like double tracks. It's just has a very serious face.
Yeah, and it's like the hair, like there's like spikes around the ears, and there might even be like extra dark banding and stuff, where it's just, I don't know what this Pikachu has seen, but it has seen some stuff.
It went through war and it didn't come back the same.
No, yeah, exactly. You believe it, right? Like that's the kind of stylistic turn that whole set was, and it, like, for anyone that needs something comparable, it's a lot like when they did Rocket and had to just give everything a little bit more sinister. Same deal, but even more personalized, right?
I got it on the screen for people who want to see. It's really grisly, and it's one of the most.
It up too.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Pikachu cards for sure.
Yeah, where it's got like the little lightning ball right by its cheek. Is that the one that you got?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's right there. I have it on the screen.
And it's also weird because you have Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, and it just looks like.
What? Yeah. What? Wait. Yeah. What happened to you?
It's definitely something.
That's the over the line. Seen too much.
That Pikachu was going into war, and it was gonna come out a winner.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Pure Ladder.
Well,
He called us
uh,
boomers.
I mean, that's what this is, right?
I mean, yeah, this is reminiscing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my. Did you say
But
you
yeah,
had some? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do have some other items with me as well.
Let's go. All right.
I know I remember I had said we were gonna do 5, but I picked out a couple of extra ones because I didn't really know if we were gonna break our own rules or not.
No, I never believe in rules unless we need to break them.
Well, I'm gonna keep it on the same train as Jet with Pokemon cards, except
Yes.
All right.
and I'm not gonna necessarily show a card. I'm gonna show you the very first memento I got from from a regional championship, which is the Reggie Alecki playmat
Whoa.
that I got in Milwaukee, and I've held onto this for, honestly, I'm probably never gonna give this away. Like I use it, I've only used it once for a local, and like I said, I got this one in Milwaukee. I felt really bad because I signed up for Go, and I was like, yeah, I'm here to pick up some. I'm here to pick up like my swag or whatever that you guys are advertising, and they gave me this and a Pokemon card, and I go, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah. Where's my hat?
I was like, can I get a hat? And they're like, oh, we don't have hats, and I go, playmat it is. I'm not gonna complain about it too much.
No, that's cool.
But yeah, so then I found out that like some regionals do hats or will probably never do a hat again, and you know I fell in love with this thing because it's got Reggie Alecki or Reginald the Reggie Alecki, so literally the fastest Pokemon in existence, and nothing can change my mind about it, sadly. So
Man,
yeah.
that mat has a lot going on, though.
It like I love this mat more than I loved the one that I got in Peoria. It was a Ting Lu mat, and I'm holding it upside down. It was a Ting Lu mat, but like this one is just better.
Yeah.
It just shows you like I'm Reggie Alecki, I'm fast, I'm electric, and I'm going to delete you.
I love how it has like a claw on the left hand side.
Yeah. It is honestly really cool. The artists who's like that design these mats that they give out at regionals, they do an excellent job. I can't give them enough praise. And then it's got the little regional stamp, but they just changed it for the 2025 season. If you were watching the regionals on Twitch this afternoon, you'll see what I mean. They look kind of weird. I don't like it.
Weird boy.
Not a
I don't
fan.
like it.
Not a fan.
No, I like the shield one.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna roll this up a little bit. I'm gonna throw it on the camera.
Put it back in its holster.
What about you, Jay? Let's while he rolls his titty roll, let's see what you brought.
Yeah, ignore the wizard with his Tootsie Roll. Well, before we move fully off of like the trading cards, I just want to give a special shout out. When I did the San Diego regional, one of our buddies, Irod, got packs for everybody, and I thought that was such a cool like little commemorative thing where it's just like, all right, yeah, stealing that for the next one I go to, like, gotta give the friends something. But yeah, I have a different sort of card next. Fun fact, I have invested a lot of time into energy work. I'm a Reiki master. I've gone through every Healing Touch and Healing Touch for Animals course that exists. So, of course, like the time came and I was looking at getting some tarot cards, and I found like arguably like some of the coolest things that exist. Like these guys are fantastic.
Ooh.
This is the Typhlosion, the King of Wands, of course. And like the fun thing about these is I had like essentially no real way to digest the story of tarot. Like there's a lot of iconography and just a lot of story that goes into each card, and something that I appreciate about these is it puts it into a medium that I understand. Where it's like the sun, of course it's Soul Rock. I understand what's happening here. And let's see if we can find another cool one. Like I probably should have
So are these
gone
like
through.
custom made kind of tarot cards, or are these actually official?
Well, these are. Yeah, I mean, I think these were just like an Etsy. Like
Okay.
I looked for a little bit, and these were like they caught my eye. Like all the backs on these guys.
Yeah. Those are kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie.
So here's a good combo for you guys. So we just had our Primarina not too long ago for Community Day, Queen of Cups, and oh man, this next one is like what puts it so in perspective for me, where it's like, yes, this is speaking my language. Is Yveltal is death.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, yes, of course it is. Like, obviously.
That's such good artwork too. You can tell.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna thumb through and see if there's anything like oh god, and they do great combinations. So this is the Two of Swords, which you can guess like the first Pokemon that might come to mind for that, right? Is the literal pair of swords, Doublade.
Oh.
However, because there's also then a lens for this, or just like a whole backstory, whatever. Who's gonna hold a pair of swords but Samurott?
That makes sense.
Ah.
I was thinking.
It's like you get the character too.
I was actually thinking Zamazenta, or Zacian. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, and that would be like, I think a little bit later on. I don't think there's anything Gen 8.
Oh, so this is pre-Gen 8.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, I'll keep looking and just see if there's like other Pokemon that are specific for you guys. That was one thing I actually should have done ahead, was to check if there's a Flygon.
Uh-oh, you got Taco Dog's attention.
Well, and just like to maybe cap off for now, like I ran into this guy, like
Ooh,
it's so good, right?
Yeah, the metal.
So this one's the Fool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I like it. It's on a cliff
That is
and
so cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he's off on the at the start of his adventure, right? Like that is the beginning. He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to look up to.
Still waiting for the shiny someday.
Or, to come back into the game full stop.
Oh yeah, it hasn't had a release since Black and White.
It was pay only.
Well, didn't Keldeo get it shiny in the DLC of Sword and Shield?
I didn't think so. I think it's still one of the unreleased ones they haven't released yet.
Little High Priestess action for Cress.
Ooh, Cresselia.
With the black and white dragons behind it too.
Oh, okay. Zekrom and Reshiram?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Those are so well done.
Right. Well, and that's like the thing is you never know until you actually get your hands on them. Here's our spiritual placeholder for the Trapinch family. Is the
Oh,
We'll take it.
page of wands
I'll take it.
with the desert and the pyramids.
The Delphox.
Yeah.
Should never evolve. Leave it as is.
Little baby.
Oh. All right. All right. What about you, Taco Dog? What do you got next?
Oh yes, my Chibi Chew. All right,
Show
so
us more
Chibi-Chu.
stuff.
This one's not nightmare inducing. This one is an official Pokemon Center, and I don't remember how I got this one.
Did you steal it from another kid?
No. So this one.
No, he remembers when he steals stuff.
I will, if I stole something, I'd remember. I can't remember. I can't remember how I got this one. I really cannot. I don't know. I knew it wasn't a Valentine's Day with the person I had dated at the time because they got me a different Pikachu. But I digress. Anyway, Chibichu.
Aww.
And so this little Pikachu, he's been cleaned up a lot. When I
so much less cursed than the last one.
I know, right? This one actually has hope in it.
So this Pikachu used to ride shotgun with me when I got my first job as a delivery driver. I would put it up on my dashboard, and he would just be like sitting right there, and he never moved, which was weird. He would kind of like do this bit when he's when I'd go over bumps and stuff, but he like never fell out, just ever. And so when I sold that car, I've had Chibichu for the longest time, and now like I used to put him on my bicycle and ride around with him. And then I got a quad lock for my phone, and the quad lock kind of took the place of the Pikachu. So now he's just kind of here, taking up. I'm not gonna say taking up space, but he's like, behind the wall when I'm recording, just doing his thing, vibing. And
retirement.
He's retired, yeah.
It's really weird because like I tell people Flygon's my favorite, but I have a lot of Pikachu stuff, so it's like, is Flygon my favorite Pokemon? And the answer is yes, but Pikachu is just so easy to get that I just gotta pick one up. I used to have a Pikachu backpack, and there was a bigger Pikachu plushie. It was like this big, and I remember I got it for Valentine's Day way back, or not way back, but like I think my sophomore year or freshman year of college. And I gave that one to my cousin's kid because she's getting into Pokemon. She's like, when did they get married? 17? They got married 17. Kid was born in 18. She is 6 years old, I think. And she started falling in love with Pokemon. So she's been asking for like Pikachu stuff. So my cousin called me and goes, "Hey, do you have, because I know you still play Pokemon." I go, "Oh, thanks." Do you have any Pikachu stuff? And I go, "I might." So when I went down to Texas, I brought a Pikachu backpack that you can get at like Hot Topic, or that you could get it. I don't know if you can get it there. And the Pikachu plushie, because it's like, I can give one away. And my wife goes, "Why don't you give this one away?" And I go, "Absolutely not. No, I have a better one." She'll lose this one.
Yeah, that one has sweet memories to it too.
Yeah, so like I took so I brought it down, and it was sitting in San Antonio with me, and then I went to my friend's wedding for a week, and I made a point to stop, and I dropped off the stuff for the little one. It was probably one of the first times, instead of like instead of making children cry by beating them in Pokemon because they're too big, their head is too big. Yeah. This one, it warmed my little heart because it's just like, I have Pokemon stuff. I'm passing it along to in our family to children, and they're now in love with Pokemon. So it's like a passing of the torch moment. And probably when we have our firstborn child, I'll probably use this as well and give it to them.
Aww.
But if they eat it, I'm gonna take it away from them.
I mean, if they eat it, it's already gone. So
I will still take. I will sew it back up. I know how to sew. We can fix.
It's a conditional gift,
right?
Then it'll end up looking like Bankachu
with the hole in it.
So
they all become zombie Pikachu at the end.
Chibichu.
No, that's how I feel too whenever I see. So I've always been the sole Pokemon, I guess, fan within the family for a while.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until we're not directly related, but it's like a distant cousin. He got into Pokemon. I'm like, all right, I'm not alone anymore. It's I got another person who likes Pokemon, and it's kind of cool to see. I guess kids who are young see experience Pokemon, and you kind of go back to the days when you first started experiencing it. It's kind of a it's a unique memory unlocked, I would say.
I'm still waiting for the day. You know, like I said, I did become a father, but our kid is 16 years old. I don't know if she'll ever do this, but if she comes to me and says, "Will you talk about Pokemon?" I never thought you asked. But I'm when we have younger kids, we don't skip like the golden years or whatever. And we don't skip those years. I'm kind of waiting for them when they get the age of like 3, 4, 5, and they go, "Will you talk to me about Pokemon? Like, why do you like it so much?" And I'm gonna be like, I'm glad you asked."
Sit down. We got a long story to begin.
So is this after you have them? Just you have like the Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur plushies that they crawl towards, or?
I used to have those plushies, but in our first apartment, I gave Charmander to my brother. I gave Bulbasaur to my roommate, who is now living in Norway, and I gave the Squirtle to. She was my girlfriend at the time, and then we broke up, and she moved out. She took the Squirtle with her, so I'm okay not getting that one back.
Globe trotting,
right?
Yeah. So they're all across the way, and I kept Pikachu because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
So basically, his kid's gonna have Pikachu as a starter. It's right there.
The secret fourth option.
I could give him Flygon, but
He may not like Flygon. He might prefer Garchomp. You got the Chonkla ready.
It's gonna learn. It's gonna learn.
Oh man.
Yeah, don't throw the shoe.
Look, I have deadly accuracy with the Chonkla.
He's also
Just
Mexican, so it's in his blood.
Yeah.
Coursing through.
Great power, mild responsibility.
Let it rip.
All right, Jet, what do you have?
So I got my trusty current notebook is the Charmander dreaming of becoming Charizard.
Oh,
Where did you
And
get
it's-
that?
I think this was also a sister gift.
Oh,
you have a good sister. Like she has.
I do. She knows what's up. But yeah, I mean, this is really just an excuse to talk about how, like, I am a writer, so I have notebooks. I've gone through many notebooks, but the thing is, half of the pages in them end up looking like this, where they have this is the last cycle of Battle Frontier that we played, where it used to be all tournament pages like this, where it was these are all the things that I saw, and initially it was mostly just so I could match the individual battles that I recorded back later when I updated them or uploaded them to YouTube, so that I would actually label them correctly. But there's also quite a bit of time where, like, again, the resources we didn't have early on, you kind of had to brainstorm somewhere how to make sense of a meta, because there was a master list eventually, like on Sylph, when they introduced new metas, but before that it was just like, hey, here are the types, have fun. And so it was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll try this thing, or I want to maybe have this plus 4 Altara answers because that's how many Altara answers you needed, and it was like it was a trip looking back through some of that stuff where it was actually kind of post mortem on some of the different teams that I ran for the different metas. In Sylph, the only like rule was you had to use a team through an entire tournament, and especially like after it all went remote, I got into a habit of most of the time using different teams for all the tournaments I played. So like if I played 4, 5, 6 tournaments in a month and they all had different teams, like I needed to have some kind of all right, what actually worked at the end. And so there were quite a few of those pages that I kind of surprised myself, like looking back and reading them yesterday, just when I was kind of looking through the items.
That's awesome. It's like you get to go through all the pages of just the memories.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and things that I had forgotten that I did, right? Like you kind of get into whatever the current reality is of building teams, whether it's for the grassroots or for your play Pokemon events, and I feel like it's really moved to a more digital space than ever before. And yeah, just like going back and seeing how analog I was with it, like even not that long ago, is super fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, y'all. Let's the last item for each of us.
All right.
Okay.
So the last item that I'm actually wearing it. I'm gonna.
Please keep it
Nice,
on.
nice.
Please just keep it on.
Keep it on.
Okay.
Oh man.
I was like, I wear it, but I'm not gonna take it off because like I wear this. I don't get to wear it as much as I want to, but I wear it like when we do the recordings, and obviously it's our jersey, our esports jersey that we're not allowed to wear on stage
because of the Dragonair, right?
Yeah, because of that logo. So for those, and I know that the Dark Knight has been clamoring for a jersey, and the only thing I can really say is the company that made this one no longer exists. So I have to find a reputable person who wants to do it because we're investing a lot of money. But anyway, with these jerseys, we originally decided. I said, "Look, we've gone through 2 cycles, in Sylph. Let's make a jersey, it." And I said, "I'll design it. How bad could it be?" Yeah. That was absolutely difficult. There were so many designs that I liked that I ended up just like making a bunch of them, and I let the team vote on which one they liked the best. And of course, like they have our logo, they have the old company, which was Playmakers Wanted, and then we put a flag of like where we're from. Most of them were from. We had the U.S. flag. We had like I think 1 player who chose the Mexican. No, 2 players chose the Mexico flag. I remember that. And then of course we didn't want to put our names like on the back. We just had our numbers, but we got our in-game names right here off to the side. And when they came in on. I had ordered them back in July, and I had heard nothing from them, and I thought I got scammed. But then they came in on my birthday a couple of years ago, and I was like, guys, they came in. And I modeled them, and they're like, those jerseys look really cool. And so like I made sure that I mailed them out to everybody. And just like, I'm not on Dino Don't Care anymore, but we haven't made Dark Knight jerseys yet. So I'm gonna continue to wear this until the cows come home. But just like seeing from the start of the team to now, just I know they're in good hands with Jet taking over the helm, and they're doing amazing things over there. And I wearing this jersey just like I love this team. I love these guys. They're like a second family to me.
Oh,
They lift each other, like we lift each other up when we're feeling down, and we make sure that, you know, it doesn't matter if you get 0-3 or 3-0. Like we're gonna celebrate your what's the word? Your successes, and we're gonna find stuff there. And so that's like wearing this jersey is just like a bit of a brotherhood to me, and a sisterhood. And I 100% love wearing this jersey, and I want to wear it more when I can.
that's awesome. I wish I could wear it for the play Pokemon. Yeah, it's just not gonna fly.
You're right, it's not. But if I can find, and if I can't find, or if I can't pay for an artist to do some work, I may do some. You know, I know AI is kind of like, ugh, but if I can't pay for it, I'm not gonna just sit here and like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Where there's a will, there's a way. If I can get a non-copyright infringing logo that we can use, now if we have to change the name to like, you know, something generic, I'm gonna try to do something like that. Of course, I'm gonna run it by Jet and Donut, the other co-owners and co-captains of the teams.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be like Taco just doing this randomly. We're gonna let him do whatever he wants. No, they're gonna keep me in check, and if they think it's a stupid idea, they're gonna tell me.
You just gotta bring the taco dog back, man. Just bring the mascot out of retirement.
So funny enough, when I wore the Taco Dog shirt to Milwaukee, and they didn't like it, they gave me a Play Pokemon shirt.
Oh, because it still isn't approved. Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. They said, and I quote, they said, "Is that an officially licensed Nintendo like logo?" And I said, "No, this is my this is my personal logo. I own the copyright to it," which was a lie, but still.
Might as well be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, it was true because like it was made as a gift, and I wasn't gonna sit here and order semantics on it. So like I could just say like, yeah, I own the copyright to this. This is my shirt. I designed it, or quote unquote designed it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not gonna take any chances with Papa Pikachu. So wear this shirt.
Yeah.
I got a shirt out of it, but like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I still got a shirt out of it, but I was mad I couldn't like just show Taco. And the only thing that they like the only reason why they said it infringed, or it may have infringed on Nintendo's copyright, was because you're on the head. That's a that's a Ludicolo hat.
Yeah.
That's a what?
It's not a Ludicolo hat. It's a Ludicolo inspired hat.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Sombrero.
Yeah.
But I'm Hispanic. Like Nintendo cannot claim copyright on the sombrero.
They can do a lot. They got weight.
Yeah, they got more money than all of us combined.
I know, but I wasn't gonna fight it.
Yeah.
But I'm still mad about it. So, if we can find a logo that doesn't infringe on copyright, and if we can find a reputable jersey making company that won't scam us, and when I say scam, like make us wait 2 months, definitely think about wanting to do it.
I feel like you're not amazed enough that we got jerseys at all.
I know, right? Like the fact that you got jerseys was sick.
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact that we got jerseys, I kind of was just like, do y'all want to do jerseys? Like, if so, like, y'all are gonna help pay for them. It wasn't like I'm gonna give these to you type of thing. It was like, and they all said, yeah, we want to do this. I was like, all right, let's do it. And when they came in, I was super happy. It's like now I get to ship them out to y'all. And yes, that is going to require that you dox yourselves, but you're only giving me the stuff. But,
yeah, not publicly.
For now.
True to my word. Once all the jerseys came out and everybody said they got them, I ripped up those pages and put them in the shredder. I no longer know where anybody on the team lives.
And for those who have ever asked me, hey, David, why don't you do merch? This is exactly the reason why I don't do merch. My logo is just as much as copyright as his stuff, unfortunately. That's why the only thing I can do right now is bracelets, because Pokemon does not control lettering, so
There you go.
yeah, that's the only way I can do it for now.
Loophole.
Lupo. Like
Lupo's
Taco Dog, he could
different.
probably still use Dragonair. He just can't use a picture of it.
Yeah, we'll have to do something dragon type ish probably.
Yeah.
The worst part about it is Dragon. Anything with Dragon or esports has already kind of been taken.
Challenge accepted.
So it's like, yeah, I'm definitely trying to find something to do.
Well, and I just mean more like with the image itself, like kind of blur the Dragonair enough that it becomes its own thing.
Yeah,
What
something
if we
like
make
that.
it? What if we invert the colors, make it pink?
No, it still would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's literally the shiny.
I know, right?
It's like, are we? Yeah.
It's a shiny. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I do love though that every time Zimmy pops up on anything that isn't like specifically like the live stream for battles, he's wearing his jersey. So it's just anytime he's at an event, he's got his jersey on. It's so great to see that.
When we went to Peoria, we took a team picture with Sherveen, Zimmy, my brother, and myself. We were around the trophy, and it was just like, we're a team. We're doing in real life stuff. It's great. I love it. And yes. Oh, okay. And it was just like so. It was a great feeling. Like, hey, we're in Peoria. You know, Zimmy flew out all the way from the West Coast to be here in the middle of the Midwest, and I just drove. We just drove 2 hours. That was it. And Sherveen drove. God, I don't remember. I think he drove like 6 hours. It was a great time, and we definitely enjoyed it.
Hey, Jed, he's starting to talk to that bank Pikachu. I'm kind of worried for this boy.
It demands a certain amount of interaction every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was very, like I said, I was very happy to, be a part of it, and just the jerseys to me, it's a reminder of like, this is what we've done, this is what we do, and the jerseys are super, they're super, they stand out. The pink and the blue and the black actually blends really well, which I thought it wasn't going to at first, but I can see the pink collar from yards away and be like, there's my brother, there's Sherveen, or there's
Yeah, there's one of my nerds.
there's our teammate. So that's my final item.
Awesome. I love y'all's jersey too, and I look forward to whatever y'all decide whenever you find something official, or not official, but not trademarked.
I want to do something with the old logo eventually. It's so good.
I love the old logo. I wish we could use it more, but if one Pokemon is gonna infringe on the copyright,
Couple more will probably just do it more.
Yeah.
well, the old one had Dragonair on top with like a Dedenne, a Frostlass, and a Walrein like underneath it with like the knockout eyes, and it was great. We enjoyed it so much.
Oh.
It's like maybe we just have those like as podcast bugs or something. Just for us.
Just for y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd make a jersey for that. But
Or a mug.
Probably, yeah, or a mug. I was like, we'd probably have to give like the other podcast hosts the jerseys too. Maybe
The mugs.
Yeah. But international shipping.
Or you can take it yourself and avoid having to pay international shipping.
Yeah, just go hang out.
I need a passport.
There you go.
Well, I mean, you need that anyway. Let's make it happen.
You're not wrong. I'll get a passport eventually.
All right, Jet. What's the last item you're going to show us?
All right. I have a couple books. Would you prefer to see On the Origin of Kanto or the Kanto edition of the Pokenatomy?
Oh.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, why not both?
Okay, I mean, twist my arm, I guess.
Yeah, why not both?
Yes. Wait, is the anatomy one where it has like the stuff cut out?
That's what I'm.
Yes, it sure
Okay.
is.
I think I've seen pictures of it before online.
So yeah, well, we'll start with just like, again, these things are stupid pretty, and I think there's a Gen 2 version also. I don't know if you can see, but down one side it's all the starters, and on the other it's got like the legendary birds.
That looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I feel like he's about to open an alchemy book.
Yeah. What do you want to see the inside of?
Ooh.
Because I feel like this one is just like a good one to start with because it's really interesting, just like thematically, that the inside of a Kakuna is just a Beedrill that hasn't emerged yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And I want to see how do Flareon,
All right.
because it says like it has a thing inside of it that can spit 3,500 degrees Celsius fire or something.
Oh.
And then after,
Yeah.
after that, do Mr. Mime just because I kind of want to see the inside.
We're leaning into the cursed objects, are we?
Look, I just wanted to see Flareon. This was like we're going into Bankachu.
I mean, at least I didn't say Jinx. Come on here.
We're going into
All right.
bank levels of stuff.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. The little nub for a tail.
Yeah. But the closest thing like to the organ is it has like the flame regurgitatory muscles labeled,
Okay.
and then heat resistant paws is also labeled.
Heat-resistant paws.
Yeah,
Guess that makes sense. It's kind of important.
a little bit. All right, you said Mr. Mime.
Yeah. Should be a couple of pages
no.
before that. I'm curious, like, what's the inside of Mr. Mime really look like, you know?
Okay, I went the other way. Like this one's just really funny, because I flipped to Porygon,
Oh.
which
Of course, yeah.
as you might expect.
Oh,
Great.
since you're a couple pages away, let's do Ditto. Since I think Ditto's like maybe 132, 133.
132. It's just before Eevee.
Also, it's 131 maybe.
All right. Oh, that's okay. Well, I went and looked at the fossils, and the Aerodactyl is the only cop out. It's just the skeleton.
Of course, yeah. So skeleton, just like Peter City.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, almost exactly that. The others though, the evolutionary families, like they are actually in there. All right. Well, God, this is so awful.
What the heck?
And I am now gonna have
Yeah,
nightmares.
That's nightmare fuel right there.
Speaking of nightmares,
Yeah, that's nightmare fuel. If you just put both of those on both sides, that would be that's literally Walking Dead material right there. Dude.
Santa said you've been naughty. Get out of here. All right, and let's see if Ditto has something better to offer us. Oh, Jinx is pretty terrible.
Terrible, like unimaginative, or terrible, like nightmare fuel.
More along the lines of Nightmare Fuel.
I'm in for it. Let's go. I need something to keep me awake tonight.
We could Ditto. Okay, I won't preface it, but we'll chat.
Yep, that's something.
Yeah.
It's like the every once in a while I have that whole album of the quote unquote hyper realistic Pokemon art come across my dash, and that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Which is
expecting like
kind of-
something like Mew or something like that.
Kind of vacuous.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to get the second generation book because I know there's
Ooh.
also the Gen 2 is out.
I'm trying to think what
And
Gen
it's just
2 Pokemon would be interesting to see the inside of.
just as pretty.
Unknown would be interesting, right? Like, what would be the inside of an Unknown?
Right? Some of these do the job of like looking at the interior very differently. I'll show you this one because it's just so weird. Where like sometimes they kind of just like peel back layers or whatever. This one, like, they have the Growlithe, like they're pulling the pieces apart. Like the brain is just like stretched out of the body.
You gotta show it. It has like if you gotta show the anatomy one way, like
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess
hey, we're just gonna pull the face off and then stretch the brain out.
Although I would expect its head to be a little bit bigger. I thought it would have like a big forehead. You know?
Yeah, I mean they kind of take off just also the top of the skull.
Okay.
And I guess I can show you this one. They do a more complete like, oh yeah, the whole skull is actually there for Arcanine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where it's not just like a let's immediately look at the brain for some reason. But this one's even it's a little bit weirder because it has like the nerves.
Ooh, Slugma would be interesting too.
I feel like that would just be like magma inside of it.
True. Maybe like a Ditto, I guess, but just hot.
Yeah.
Hot Ditto. The Machop family is just like the muscles, which I guess makes sense, right? Like that still tracks.
Ooh, what about Hitmonlee?
The torso is also odd with Hitmonlee, right? Like just the fact that it's mostly leg. And there's a surprising amount going on with the Ghost family. Where it's like I kind of didn't think there would be anything.
I mean, I figured Ghastly would just be gas.
Okay, so if you've ever wondered about Pokemon like Timber, where they have kind of like when you first get introduced to it, you're like, oh yeah, of course, that's just like its hair. But then you start to wonder if it's hair or skin at some point. If you look at it for too long. And they kind of took that approach with Hitmonlee, where it has these bands that, you know, you just kind of, if you're looking at it from martial art perspective, it's like, oh yeah, that's like training equipment kind of stuff. But that's just like the shape of its muscles in those sections.
That isn't quite as nightmare-inducing as I thought it would be.
Yeah. I was been like
It's a little off-putting with the
Yeah.
but
I feel like it's another evolution waiting to happen.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that twist continue somehow, right?
Mm-hmm. Like just have it go longer. It becomes like a spring boy.
Yeah, well, and that's like the advantage of a Pokemon like Hitmonlee, where they kind of only have that one detail, where it's like, oh, I didn't really think about it until you took the skin off, and now I see that's really the only thing that it has going on.
Oh man, that's awesome.
when the Gen 3 one comes out, I kind of want to see what Spoinks looks like.
Oh, that's true.
Because its Pokedex entry says if it ever stops bouncing,
Yeah.
it will
Yeah,
perish.
exactly.
I bet that would tie. I bet its heart would be right there, maybe somehow attached to that the spring or its tail, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
All right, well, because you seem so interested in not sleeping, I have turned to Tangela and discovered that they decided to include Tangela's mouth as part of the breakdown for Tangela.
Oh my gosh.
And it's pretty fantastic.
That's very nightmare-inducing.
Looks like a butthole.
I mean, as you do. It's like a sea anemone, but vines, I guess.
I wonder how many people have tried to stick. I'm not gonna go there. Anyway.
You know, it's just like the InSync food disposal unit.
Oh my gosh.
And then yeah, for the for the comparison, we have the On the Origin book series, which I also hope that there are multiple generations of now, especially since this one was labeled Kanto, that like actually goes into like the creatures and where they come from design wise from our world. So like that one is Growlithe and the Foo Dogs. And then God, this is so good. We just looked at it at Hitmonlee, and the really weird picture in the top corner. If I can get it in there. But...
What the heck?
Well, it's like the cultures that used the entire like face as a mask for their entire body, right? Like the demon kickboxer.
That's a sick name. That's cool.
I know that, like, there for the longest time, and I think some people still believe this, but like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan were based off of like Bruce Lee and
Jackie Chan,
which you'd probably think that'd be correct, but Hitmonchan's a boxer and Jackie Chan wasn't really a boxer.
It was just a popular person, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, of course, like this is another just like shoe-in one, but like the Vulpix and the Kitsune.
Yeah.
The Naruto Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's just like some of these also have connections that maybe aren't as immediately obvious, and they kind of also look just for combinations for not just the maybe mythos, but then also what they would actually kind of be analog wise.
Sounds like they do a very deep dive with this one, more than
you would say
exactly. Like a Wikipedia almost.
Well, and one of the things that they do too is they lean into the other media aspect. So like the Butterfree is a cool version of this, where you have the side by side with Mothra, and it's one of those where it's like, oh, yeah, they kind of just took it, didn't they?
Oh, I see it.
Where the cultural identity is very strong there.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of them are also kind of the full circle media stuff, right? Like this one's pretty great, the Gengar.
Mm-hmm.
Where they like Japanese culture has so much ghost stuff, like they wouldn't need to borrow from English, but Cheshire Cat, obviously, right?
Right.
The smile.
I'm going to get one of those books. I need to get the anatomy one for sure. I need the Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is I think that there are many more generations available.
So I'm going to show my last item. Is that, or unless you had any more, Jet, or is that it?
No, go for it.
All right. So this one is actually recent. This is from GoFest of this past year. And it's this boy.
What do we
That's
got?
Lechonk.
That chocolate boy.
So soft. And the reason why it's so special is A, because it's GoFest, but B, this one was actually hiding. So I went to the Nintendo store with some friends, and we went through the plushies, and I missed it. I didn't see anything of it. And it was like almost like a tower. And they had the plushies on top, on the bottom, and then it was empty on the very bottom of it. So I didn't think there was any plushies there. So I go to the checkout line, and lo and behold, I see this one Lechonk that's still there.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. I was like, oh, I gotta get it. So I'm having to act cool, right? Because I have to go check out, and I have to make sure people don't see me like dash for it, and I have to pretend like, I have to keep my eyes away from it, so I'm like pretending I'm looking, but slowly trying to move in that direction. I grab it, go back in line, and sit another I grab it, go back in line, and sit for another 30 minutes because once wasn't enough, and I brought this boy because the Chonk is the greatest. So
I mean, he is. He's one of the best designed Gen 9 Pokemon.
Yes, for sure. And he's so soft too. I would just
Always a plus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for both coming on the podcast. I'm glad y'all can come back on the Great Edition. If this keeps going, maybe I'll invite y'all back for the Ultra Ball Edition. I don't know what we talk about at that point, but
Oh goodness.
That's where the real treasures come out.
yeah, that's where we find out where the hidden bodies are.
Oh, I don't have skeletons in my closet. I told you my Pokemon origin story.
Yep.
Where I stole Piggy Bankachu, and I got my first copy of Gold, betting it in a chess match. So.
Yep. And speaking of origin stories, for those who don't know, I'm actually an originally podcast, sound only, and you can hear both Jet and Taco Dog's origin story on As The Pokeball Turns, available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. And in case you don't know, make sure to follow on all my social medias. I'm on Instagram, X, or Twitter, depending on what you believe in, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And because we just had Enter the Dragonair's Den on the podcast, there will be a special short release for Dragonair specifically coming out probably either tomorrow or Monday at the latest. But thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you in 2 more weeks with another guest. Depending on what they share, as you see, it could be anything. We'll have another show featuring more Pokemon, more people, and more stories. Until next time.